Hello, Formula One fans. This is Rory. You're in Paddock headquarters. Thank you for watching the program. Thank you for watching the show. So we have news about the cost cap, the Formula One cost cap that came out either late yesterday or earlier today. And they were addressing using personnel and or maybe assets from another division and applying that to your Formula One program. So I'll explain here in a little bit. But essentially, the Formula One cap for this year is somewhere around $135 million per team. That does not include the top three salaries. So your drivers are not going to be included in that. Probably your team principal, your highest paid individuals on staff will be excluded from that. Some other things are excluded from the cost cap as well, like marketing and such. But they do have a little wiggle room for that number, the 135 million, for inflation, and because they have 6 sprint races into the season this year. So that number will move a little bit. Ultimately, at the end of the season, I guess we'll know what the final cost cap number was. But nevertheless, they've implemented it, and it's going to take a couple years for the league, the Formula One series, to work through this cost cap. One of the things that they came out with was you can't have personnel in other divisions. Some of these wealthy teams have other divisions where they sell the technology, or they have a power boat unit or a boating unit. Red Bull, which I did not know, has a I guess they're involved in bicycles. And these other units, the technology can go out. You can sell it and use whatever you have built and developed on your Formula One program for some of these other, businesses that you have, but it can't come in. If you have technicians or engineers working in your powerboat unit and they are applying skill or expertise or technology to your Formula One unit, then they have to be considered and counted under the cost cap. Now, they put the cap in, obviously, because they want the series to be more competitive. They want a more competitive, exciting product for the fans. And you have some of the wealthier teams like Mercedes or Red Bull could easily have spent $300 million on a season to develop their cars in terms of technology and expertise. So that has now stopped as of last year. They're still in the growing pains of this cost cap for Formula One. And I think it's going to take a couple years to truly work through. If you remember at the beginning of this season, a couple of the team principals, I think Christian Horner and maybe Toto Wolff, or I can't remember who exactly, but they had expressed an opinion that they believe several teams will go over the cost cap this year. And that was early in the season. So I'm not sure what kind of adjustments the teams are making and how they're working with Formula One and the FIA to make sure they stick to the cost cap. We'll see at the end of the year. Just by comparison, though, the NFL, last year, the National Football League here in America, their team salary cap was $208 million, $208 plus million. But this year, for 2023, that is getting bumped up to $224.8 million for the salary cap for the team. And there's some wiggle room in there for them too. They can push some of the money in the future for future teams, but they're not allowed to go over their cap at all. That's just by comparison. So that's the news regarding the cost cap. The cost cap as it stands, it's my understanding, was $135 million plus a little leeway for inflation and for the sprint races and maybe some other minor aspects. But you can't have personnel or technology from other units, other divisions that are not Formula One direct and bring that into your Formula One program without monetizing that and putting it under the cost cap. So that's kind of where we are with that. It's going to be interesting to see Formula One continue their growing pains with the cost cap. But I do approve of it. I think it's a good thing. And I'm hopeful, in a year or two, we really have great competition between, at any given time, 7 or 8 teams. So there's always going to be a couple on the top and a couple on the bottom. But I'd love to see the league get more competitive as well. So that's my video for today. Thank you so much for watching the cost cap update. There it is. I think that is all for today. So thank you for watching the program. I'll see you tomorrow. I drop a video every single day. Make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. See you tomorrow.